see. So Dr. James Lactaski, this one comes from, this is from the UFOB subreddit from Juggernaut 3550. They ask, Dr. James Lactatsky said in Skinwalkers at the Pentagon that in 2011, they penetrated the interior of a craft, but it had no fuel or fuel source. Could it be we have misunderstood and that the craft don't generate power but redirect energy flows that exist everywhere that we cannot currently perceive, like a kayak on a choppy river? Hence, their movement is so erratic as they are surfing the energy flow.
That's a really outstanding question, and I really pinned Lukatsky down. I mean, after all, he was our connection to the Defense Intelligence Agency, and said, "Can you tell me anything more? Are you really sure there's just nothing there you can put your fingers on?" And he said, "There just isn't." So you're kind of forced in the position of saying, okay, well, maybe it's energy is being sent from some other location, a mothership, say, and it's being used to power this craft. And there are systems like that that we use, not so exotic as UAP, but nonetheless sending energy from one location to another to create an effect. So it could be something like that. It could be even more exotic. For example, maybe the NHI inside the craft have mastered psychokinesis and they run the craft by some mental process. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all these issues have to be on the table, can't be thrown out because they're crazy, and have to be investigated. So in the case of that particular craft, I'm just as stumped as I can be, but I think we have to think of all possibilities and chase them down to the best degree we can.
All right. Our next question is from UFOB subreddit from Juggernaut 3550. Research from the University of Tokyo and Harvard has suggested that information could be transmitted via cosmic rays and gamma rays. Skinwalker Ranch and similar sites have some strange gamma rays readings. Could this be evidence of said information transfer, but we lack the tooling to decode and comprehend what is being sent?
Well, gamma rays and electromagnetic energy, the electromagnetic spectrum is enormous. I mean, it spans from, way down the big wavelengths down from AM all the way up well beyond gamma. And we don't really have the instrumentation to read the entire spectrum in one shot. We read little snippets of it here and there. So when something strange happens, we can only read what our sensors read. And then we have to infer what that all means, from those little pieces of the thing. So you have to say what is really happening. First of all, our brain probably has access to a lot more than our sensors do. Our brain has been evolved over the years to probably react to a lot of the ranges that our sensors just don't even get into. So we don't know what that information is that's coming over, but we're working hard to kind of correlate when we see a signal to what the people are actually interpreting. So that's the important thing. I think that our bodies, our brains are extremely good scientific instruments. We just really horrible at interpreting and explaining what we say. So that's why you have to always marry the two together. So it's very possible that the information that is coming down, that is causing these experiences, is a communication. We just don't understand it, and we don't have the instrumentation or the software or the intelligence to, actually text to speech type of thing.
From the UFOB subreddit, we have a question from bjamin075. As a physicist, do you have a preferred interpretation of quantum mechanics, or are you agnostic about that?
No, quantum mechanics for us is nuts and bolts. It's like, this is our understanding. This is how it works. It's been proven. I think quantum electrodynamics is one of the best experimented and proven theories there are ever. So you have to take that as rote and say, okay, everything that we do is above that. But also as scientists, you can't get stuck. You have to go on that, like what Hal showed you in the picture, you have to go on that high road and be open to other things. So quantum mechanics is very important to us because we feel that a lot of what's happening out there is on the quantum mechanical realm. It's not in the normal realm, which we call the things that like the electromagnetic spectrum and things like that. It's often that realm that things are happening. So you have to use those tools, and if you buy into that, then you start developing the theories. But again, you can't say, well, just because something that you witness or something you observe doesn't fit into your known understanding, you have to be ready and willing to take the high road and go investigate and try to come up with theories on and extend our theories to include other possibilities.
Our next question comes from the subreddit UFOB from Beautiful Throat 111. Based on your knowledge of the subject and your medical background, what do you think would be the greatest benefit, cure, treatment that humans could get from alien tech or alien intelligence? To phrase it another way, which disease, if cured or treated based on NHI, would have the greatest positive impact on humanity?
I mean, cancer, right? Cancer and autoimmunity are the two biggies. Mental disorders. I think it's interesting because what the question made me think of when I saw it in the list was the same thing. It was a similar kind of answer of when people say, well, if there are aliens that walk amongst us, could we see them genetically? Are there examples of hybrids? And could we detect them? And my first response back to that is, well, however it is that you might desire to engineer a human requires a depth of knowledge about how the biology of humans operate, and the reverse engineering that we don't know what it is, that we just don't appreciate yet, and a knowledge of DNA that we simply just don't appreciate yet. So if to the 10th power, hybrids are a real thing, you're not going to hybridize with something from Alpha Centauri. You're more likely to hybridize with a carrot than you are with another species from another place. So to me, the only way that hybrid as a term would operate would be that somehow humans were manipulated, taken aside, a separate group or colony was set up, and they were essentially grown or kept as a group by whoever it is that collected them, not that they're slaves or anything, and that they were manipulated in some manner. But again, it requires a depth of knowledge that would allow for manipulation and synthetic biology that we just don't have right now. So assuming that something like that could happen, then that would mean that it wouldn't be that they would walk out and down the gangplank and say, here's the cure to cancer. That would be a mistake, frankly. It would be, here's what you need to know to figure out how to do it. You never want to give people things because that makes them lazy. What you want to do is teach them the way that they can learn it themselves. And so what I would hope, if there were any kind of interaction, that it would be, here's the direction you should go, and here are some new kinds of tools that you require. People have heard me talk about atomic imaging and things, and so I'm just taking it into my own hands. I think the next level of research and understanding to accomplish the kinds of biology that we want to do for cancer, for instance, is atomic imaging and understanding the bond structures between, atoms. And we just don't have that right now. And people have heard me talk many times about this. I mean, in the last year alone, I've had 6 cancers. I've just had stuff removed all the time. I've got huge surgery coming up because of something near my eye. But it's okay. It's okay. People have it worse. It's something that we need to solve. So that would be, if there could be anything, it would be cancer. And then autoimmunity. I mean, all of it, cancer and autoimmunity, all revolves around the immune system. And so understanding how the immune system operates has been I've developed, half a dozen instruments that help the world do that.